Hello, I'm Dr. Beth Godey.
And I'm Dr. Martha Leatherman. I'm a geriatric specialist in psychiatry.
And I'm a neuropsychologist, and I specialize in aging.
We're experts in dementia care, and we're here to provide you some information and answer some questions that we hear very commonly about dementia and other issues in aging.
Well, in this video session, we're going to be talking about sundowning, or as some of you might know it as sundowners syndrome in dementia. But just so we all know what we're talking about, what is sundowning or sundowners syndrome?
Well, I prefer to say sundowning because I think it's a little bit more descriptive. And it came from the observation that people had that as the sun went down, somebody with dementia's behavior would get worse and more difficult to manage. And what families see is toward the end of the day, the person with dementia becomes more agitated, maybe more combative and belligerent. What have you seen?
Well, families will tell me, and what I've seen as well, is a lot more irritability and a lot more confusion. Sometimes people will not even recognize their own home as their home. Or possibly sometimes some delusions, not recognizing family members and thinking they're intruders, but basically more and more behavior management problems as the late afternoon comes up and early evening.
Well, it's a difficult thing to live through, and I'll say again, we're not saying that people with dementia are like 2-year-olds. But people who have been parents and have been through when children at the end of the day are melting down and they're tired and their behavior gets bad and difficult to manage, it is sort of a similar kind of phenomenon. And if you put it in that perspective, it kind of helps you to figure out some management strategies for it.
And also think of yourself if you've had a very stressful day for whatever reason, whether it's work or lots of errands or childcare yourself. You come home at the end of the day and all you want to do is put your feet up and have some relaxing, quiet time. You don't want to rush into getting dinner ready. You need some time to yourself. It's that kind of thing that you need to think about. Oh, this is what my family member, my loved one might need from me, is a little bit of relaxation time, quieting down the environment.
Because with dementia, all the cognitive tasks that we take for granted, figuring out how to put on clothes, brushing teeth, being in a routine, are exhausting. It's very difficult when you've got cognitive impairment.
So they're spending a lot of energy all day trying to figure out what's going on, what are they going to do next. Maybe there's more anxiety if they're in a new situation over the course of the day. But all that energy gets just drained from them to where they really then cannot function without some help by the end of the day. Thus, as the sun goes down, they're having more and more problems with the transition.
People come to me very frequently asking, is there a medication? If we could just give her something at 3 o'clock to get us through till bedtime. And I have to say that there is no medication for sundowning. There are medications that people can try to use to kind of modulate behavior and temper and soften some of the problems. But it's difficult and it's imprecise, and you really need to be working with a physician that you trust and have a good rapport with to kind of work through it. There's not one easy medication that fits all of that, and I'm sorry to have to give you the bad news.
Right. There's no pill that's going to get rid of this. What you have to do is think about the environment and how you can make that more relaxing and peaceful and calming.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
And there are many different ways to do that, but if you start by thinking what the house is like or what the environment is like, from, an hour before the sundowning begins. Often that's a period of time where kids are coming home from school.
People coming home from work.
Coming home from work, thinking about getting the dinner on the table, bustling around, setting the table.
Turning on the television to watch the news.
Watch the news. So if you can minimize those kinds of things, have people come in a different entrance and not make a big to-do when they come in the house. Just let them kind of appear. Get the table set for supper at noon or 1 o'clock so it's already done and there's not that to be doing. Get the person, before the sundowning behavior starts, get them in a quiet, calm place with something soothing and relaxing.
Right. Sometimes soothing music or maybe a simple task that they can be working on in a place in the house that won't, just trying to control that noise and stress level and to prepare them for the night.
Right. That's the other big part.
Right. Right.
You've got to think about, what are bedtime rituals and sort of start those early and let them go through on until bedtime. So you're really even lowering the lights, lowering all of the stimulation. Because a lot of times it really is being in an environment that's overstimulated when they're already exhausted.
Right. I think noise and lighting and stress when you're trying to manage the environment for the person, because they can't do it for themselves. They really don't. They're not able to say, I'm feeling all worked up, I need to go lie down for a minute. They really can't do that. You have to prepare the night for them.
And you have to do it before the behavioral symptoms start, because once they already get agitated, it's hard to work back from that. You have to prevent it.
It really is.
So I hope this has been a little bit helpful with sundowning. It's a difficult task, caring for a loved one. Sundowning is a difficult situation and problem. There are lots of books out that can help you, but this gives you an overview of kind of what's driving it and gives you some ways to problem solve for yourself. For more answers to questions like these, our book, The Insider's Guide to Dementia Care, is available at Amazon.com.